Hello, I'm Carol Drinkwater. This is our olive farm, and I want to talk to you about my new book, The Lost Girl. I'm particularly proud of this one, and it means something quite special to me. It came about, and part of the book is set, in November 2015. I was here at the farm with my mother, and I turned on the news, and we watched with horror to see the terrorist attacks in Paris that were taking place that night. There were 6 attacks, and as I stood there with my arms, I was weeping and my arms around my mother, she said to me, everybody who is, particularly in the Bataclan where they were hostages, 1,500 spectators, concert goers as hostages, she said to me, every one of them has a mother waiting somewhere for them. And without my knowing it, that was the seed for this book. The Lost Girl is set between 2 time zones, November 2015 in Paris, that Friday night, the 13th. It's about an English woman who comes to Paris because 4 years earlier her daughter went missing, and there has been an uncertain sighting of the daughter in Paris, and she and her husband decide to come to Paris to see if they can find her. They think, for various reasons that come up later in the book, that the daughter might be at that Bataclan concert. Oliver, the husband, the father, goes to the concert, and Curtis, the mother, waits in a bar, hopefully that later in the evening Oliver will come back with their daughter Lizzie from the concert. But of course, during the course of the evening, the terrorist attacks take place, and Curtis is stuck in a bar, not knowing what is going on inside the Bataclan. Into the bar comes an 80-something-year-old actress who doesn't know Curtis at all. She sits beside her and they get talking. And the old lady, Marguerite, starts to tell her story, which is set mainly down here in the south of France, up just behind where we live here, in Grasse, in the perfume, the fields where all the blossoms for the perfumes have been produced. She fell in love with an English soldier after the Second World War, and she starts to tell Curtis her story. And the 2 stories, in a very bizarre way, come together. Marguerite is rather like, how can I say, a guardian angel to Curtis on that night. Curtis alone in Paris, not knowing what's happening, and this old lady says, come with me, I will help you find your daughter. So that's the sort of basis for the story. It's a love story. It's obviously a story with a great deal of drama in it. It's set down here as well, so it's in Paris at its most dark, the city of light at its most dark, and also when the people come together, the great sense of camaraderie, when people start opening up their doors, inviting people in so they've got somewhere to sleep, the queues for giving blood. I watched the filming of all this, the reportage on television. The queues for giving blood went all the way around the streets at the hospital in blocks around when the hospitals ran out of blood. So it's a story also of a city, Paris, where the people come together. It's a story of a family trying to find their way through the crisis, and it's a story of an old lady who in a way is a kind of guardian angel figure. My mother died about 3 months after that particular evening in November, and by that time I was writing the book. I was deeply into it, and the loss of her, of course, like the loss of any mother, was profound for me. And I think in some ways that she comes across in Marguerite, the guardian angel. My mother, I felt, looked down on me while I was writing this book. So in that way, The Lost Girl is very special for me. I feel that my mother's soul somehow is in this book, and I'd really like you to read it. The Lost Girl, published on June the 29th, Penguin, Michael Joseph Penguin. Please do go out and buy it. Thank you.